Hi guys, it's me, it's Tiffany. You're here for Tiffany TV. My name is Tiffany Price Murray, also known as TiffanyDIRA, and I am a transformational life coach and channeler of divine source energy. And we are here today to help you heal through the insights and lessons of my own life. Yeah. So, first thing I just need to address is after reading further into a book that I was speaking about the other day on one of my previous episodes in this series. It is called That's Bold of You by Case Kenny. Incredible book, by the way. Such a remarkable book. And I was talking about how I didn't really agree with him because he was saying something adverse about the word crazy and calling people crazy. And, you know, those of you that know me, I am anti-crazy. And I sort of, not that I took offense to it, but my position was that I didn't agree with what he was saying. Except I didn't actually read, like, if I had literally turned the very next page, I would have realized that was not saying anything against being crazy. He was actually saying something against people who say that being crazy is not a good thing. So I recant, I take it back. I'm changing my position about this book, which I still believed that it was an incredible book, even in the first 5 pages that I read. But now, after continuing to read further, I am agreeing with his position that he is presenting in the book. And that is that you should embrace your crazy, that you should love your crazy, that you, even by being too much of all that you are, your crazy is, you're never too much. You are being your version of too much is exactly who divine has created you to be. And that too much, if other people think that you are too much, that's their problem, not yours. So embrace your too much, embrace your crazy, embrace all that you are, embrace your truest, authentic self, even if it is a little bit crazy. So I just wanted to make sure that I expressed my change in position, because you know what? That's what happens. People change their mind and change their ideas, and people grow and people expand and people understand once they get more information. And it's okay to believe in one thing 1 minute and then change your mind after you're given new information. You are constantly able to be changing your beliefs and changing your position and changing what you want to say and express to the world. That's the beauty of growth and expansion. Okay, so today we are going to talk about time in a minute. But first, I just want to talk about this moment of sadness that I've been having. And maybe you can tell that I'm a little bit off. I was sort of reluctant and resistant to doing this. And today, and I tell myself, you know, just go do it. Just don't listen to the things that are happening inside your mind. Don't listen to what's going on, the itty bitty shitty committee in your head, giving you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. You're supposed to be having fun. So just go have fun and just be you and shine in your light and do whatever you can to share your light with people so that it can help them in whatever way that it can. So I had this moment of sadness. And I was watching a podcast again with Aubrey and with Matias Stefano. And there was this girl that stood up and talked about this story, this enchanting, incredible, amazing story about how she followed the synchronicities in her life that were telling her to go and see Matias in Argentina. Yeah, Argentina, not Peru. And it was like this wild story that was just like, she was next to somebody on a plane, and then he was holding a book of Argentina, and she didn't know how she was going to get there and pay for it. And then all of these things happened, and everything that was leading her and guiding her and telling her that that was what she was meant to do in her life and how she was supposed to move forward. And I listened to her on bated breath and was paying attention to every word that she said. And then all of the sudden, out of nowhere, I was overcome with sadness. And I got very emotional and I started crying. And I felt really, really sad for myself because I truly believed and thought that that was the way that my life was going to go. And I thought that all I had to do was believe, and all I had to do was put myself out there, and that all of these magical things were going to happen. Because I believe in that, and I believe that it is possible. And then I just had a moment where I realized that so much of my lost faith in divine over the last few years and my shaking faith has been because it didn't turn out that way, because it hasn't been that way right now. It feels like everything is stuck and everything is staying exactly where it is, and everything is really like not moving forward, no matter what I do, and no matter how much I try, and no matter how much I just like, okay, sorry. Follow the guidance that divine gives me and do all of the things that I think that I'm supposed to do. I just keep thinking that there's some magical thing that is supposed to come out of nowhere, that is supposed to make things different. Okay, sorry. You would think I have a horrible life, which I do not. I live a magical life. I live an incredible life. And I don't understand why I can't just, okay, but I'll get to that. And then Matias said, you need to be the magic. You need to be the magic. It is not something that you do. It is who you are. And when that is who you are, then all of the things that match to you just happen. So I have to ask myself what it is that I'm either not doing or still holding on to. That is, okay, maybe I can't do this today. Okay, pull yourself together. No editing, right? That's the beauty of no editing. Okay, so then in my channel this morning, after that moment, I wrote this. How are we supposed to be happy with what we have when we always want something different? As soon as we get the things we dreamed of previously, we choose a new dream, set a new goal, want a new thing. I dreamt of being present, being still, having things, and now that I have them all I want is action, movement, and freedom from those things. How do we ever just be content with where and what we have? I have so much. I am so blessed. Why isn't it enough? When is it enough? I am torn between the pieces of myself, seemingly different, but still two sides of the same coin, wanting opposite things, striving for different objectives, neither one being happy when they have it. Maybe that is how we keep going, never being satisfied, always wanting more. How do we move forward without having something to work toward? How do we gain momentum when we are standing still? How do we motivate without inspiration? How do we evolve without change? Maybe the point is that in a world of duality with two conflicting aspects of your being, that which is not encourages you to aspire to being that which is. Maybe in a world of lack and separation, that is what allows you to comprehend infinite abundance and unity. Maybe the struggle and suffering is not. Maybe the struggle and suffering is what enables you to feel peace and grace. Maybe there is no one answer, as the more you learn and grow, the further the edges of consciousness go. And then the response that I received in channel from divine was, your magic and miracles are coming. Enjoy where you are. Do what you like. See the beauty. Celebrate your life. Be with your friends and family as if you will miss them when they are gone. Appreciate your position. Share your love. Be the joy you want to see in the world. Time is your friend, not your enemy. Feel the anticipation of new things rising in the collective. Know the truth that exists underlying what you fail to see. Hear the earth crying out in relief at washing away all that no longer serves her. See the new dawn cresting the horizon upon all that is perceived of being lost. Taste the sweetness in the air of all that has been told, coming to light. Trust it is so. Not every day is a good day, even when you think it's a good day. There can be all of a sudden something that triggers you into realization and awareness. And I suppose that is the point. Okay, let's talk about time. Because somehow in some way this all relates and all corresponds, because I put it all in the same folder, and I trust that divine guides me and leads me in the direction that is the best for my life. I do trust that. And after a moment of losing so much faith, which is a story for another day, I don't want to get into that now. But, okay. Matias says the name of the new game is that we need to get right with time. And I can appreciate that. It made me think about how like fucked up our calendar is, and how we have this calendar that doesn't actually make sense, and that it's not even based on like actual time. It's just, I don't even know why we have this calendar. I think it would rock the world for us to change it. But even Neil deGrasse Tyson says about the 13th zodiac, and that if we had 13 months instead of 12 months, that we would have 1 month with 28 days, and every month would start on the same day of the week, and it would end on the same day of the week, and it would totally correspond with the moon, and we would just like have 13 months instead of 12. And everyone thinks that, you know, yes, of course, there's climate change and the weather is shifting and all of that stuff. But also, if you've noticed, the seasons are pushing further and further and further and further and further down. And it's because we don't actually have an accurate representation of time in our calendar. And that what was once July or August is now the weather of September and October. Because right now in Canada, and yes, I understand that global warming also has something to do with it, but right now in Canada, it's November and it's 22 degrees outside. And I don't know what you know about Canada, but Canada in November is not 22 degrees generally. And over my lifetime, 44 years, it has been shifting from November being like cool and the start of winter, basically when the time changes, to being the end of summer. Like actually September and going into October now are the best months to be in Canada. Shoulder season. It is honestly better. We have better weather in September than we do in July right now. So it's just that the calendar doesn't give us an accurate representation of time. And what we associate to be with July is now shifting. It's moving, and the poles are tilting, and everything is sort of like shifting. Okay, the axis. Don't listen to me about science and math, man. I am definitely not Neil deGrasse Tyson, and who knows, fake news, make things up. I don't know. Whatever. Fact check me, do due diligence, look into it. But that's what I'm suggesting it's showing me right now. Okay, I do have a struggle with time. I do have moments with time that really, I'm impatient. I think it is that I am impatient, and that time is teaching me that I need to just freaking relax and let go and just be okay with things being drawn out instead of immediate. And it's been a very difficult lesson for me to learn, because I just want things to go like this. I want things to move. I want there to be action. I want there to be like continuous movement. So I did a channel a while ago and was asking about time. And this is what I had in my channel before. Why time? It is so short yet so long. So when you think about the relativity of how long the earth has existed for billions and billions of years, our lifetime, it isn't even that. It's literally like a fraction of a second. If you've ever watched Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they have the calendar of the existence of Earth and stuff, and it shows that literally of all the months of the year, we are on the last day of the last month in the whole year, and that all of this stuff has happened before us, that like what our lifetime existence is right now is like the last second of the existence of Earth. So it is so short, but yet it seems so long. And have you ever noticed that when you're looking forward, everything seems so far away, but then when you're looking back, it's like, oh my goodness, didn't I just graduate from high school? I'm pretty sure I didn't. That was definitely like 24 years ago. Holy shit. So when you're looking forward, everything seems so far away. But like when you're looking back, it's like it happens in a flash. It is so short, yet so long, all at the same time. Time is the gift we are given to make things happen, to get things right, to witness change. Time is the grace we are given to try again, to make things better, to forgive and let go. See. Forget, let go. Right? I know I'm good. Time is the possibility we get to see things that may have been missed, to share what more that we have, to know how each piece fits together. Time is the opportunity we need to be our best, to become the love we came from, to remember our truth. Without time in this space, we are chaos. We are impulses. We are conflicted. Without time, all things lay over one another with no discernment from one thing to the next. Without time, we are lost in a sea of confusion. With time, we can see the beauty in every moment. We can cherish our loved ones and enjoy the fruits of our labor. With time, we understand the details. We watch things blossom and bloom. We see things rise and set. With time, we create. We revel in our masterpieces. We rejoice in our abundance. Be grateful for time, for it is our fortune. It will all be yours in gratitude with time. Trust it is so. So that's what comes from my channel. And that is what I know I should be focusing on. But sometimes I am still just impatient. And I guess, you know what? That's the beauty of being able to receive information from channel, because the channeled perspective is so much more broad and vast and so much more complete than our personalities, our ego, because the personality of Tiffany, which is limited and she is all cut up in her own business, right? The perspective of divine grounds me and gives me an opportunity to see things in a whole new light from a broader perspective, where I am able to say, okay, reel it in, pull yourself together. It's going to be okay. Just because it's not all happening right now and like snip snappy doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means that you maybe need to do what you're doing right now in order to get to that next step. It just feels frustrating because I feel like I have been working on so many things and trying to do so many things that have just not worked out the way that I wanted them to. Okay, we're almost done for today. Robert Edrward Grant on the same podcast said, different podcast. Oh, different than my sad moment. Different. I'll try to link them both. I'm terrible at links. I'm like terrible at linking the books that I'm talking about. I'm terrible at linking the podcasts that I'm watching. Wouldn't it be so amazing if YouTube integrated AI and they had an AI that would like watch your videos and scan and then find the links for you to confirm and then just post them all in your description and watch your video and write a description, because I'm horrible at that part. I literally don't know my keywords, my tags, my titles, my anything. And so they're all just like random and whatever comes to me. Wouldn't it be great if there was an AI built right into YouTube where you could even pay a fee? I don't even care, but like have something that is like, scan this thing. I give you permission to scan this thing and then create everything that I need. Yes, I'm putting it out there. So Robert Edrward Grant, he says, as long as we are in time, we will be in duality. So what do we understand duality to be? Duality is the contrast of life. It is the yin and the yang. It's the shadow and the light. The duality is us living in this dimension, being separate from God, or thinking that we are separate from God, not actually being separate from divine, but thinking that we are. So where did that start? I'm sure we all know this story. It started in the Garden of Eden, when Adam ate the apple, and he ate the apple from the tree of knowledge, from the tree of good and evil, and he suddenly like became blind and fell asleep. That apple, which made him awake to duality, actually put him to sleep in forgetting that he was actually connected and in communion with God all the time. Now, this is the story that we've agreed to live out in this lifetime, where we forget that we are connected to God so that we can have this pathway to finding ourselves back to being connected with God. And it's something that we choose. That's okay, whatever. But it happened in the garden, where all of a sudden I realized when I listened to that, was that before that moment, when Adam realized that he was naked because he suddenly like had a different perspective, that he was separate from everything else around him, not only God, but like he realized himself as separate instead of in being in unity and being one with all things. That in the garden before that time, before that moment, that there was no time, that they lived like there forever without time. And that moment was like the inception of time. And that moment is what created time for him to have like a birth and then move towards death. Because before that, they just lived forever and they were just in the garden, always existing. And time is what sort of determines when we will actually die. Because without time, we wouldn't die. We would just be. We would just be. And so we have to get right with time in this existence in order for us to be in a way where we are right with time, and that is okay. We understand birth, death. Next thing. Okay. Call to action. I know all my thoughts just seem sort of like today I'm being really hard on myself in my head. All my thoughts just seem really random and chaotic. And I'm sorry if I don't make sense. But do you know what? I keep showing up and I keep doing it. So I should give myself a little bit of grace for that. Okay. We're going to do a channel. First, we're going to do a call to action. What is our call to action? I think our call to action today should be about patience and grace for ourselves. So I'm going to ask you two things. First thing, call to action. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that. That's the normal one, but I figure you already know that. First thing, call to action. In what areas of your life do you need to be more patient? In what areas of life, of your life, of the lives around you, of the life of all existence, can you be grateful for time, for the extension of time, where time passes? In what areas of your life can you see time as a gift? That's the first one. Second one, where can you give yourself a little bit of grace and not be so hard on yourself, and let yourself just have a little bit of relief and grace? That's what I'm going to work on. Okay, let's do a channel. Let's see what Divine says. Okay, and I gotta say, yesterday I asked a question and then my channel came through and did not actually answer that question. So I'm gonna ask that question again. If Divine would like to give us a little bit of insight on what are some of the changes that are coming for us in the next 3 months, and also how do we transcend time? Okay, let's see what Divine says. I call on Divine to be known to me. I call on Divine to be known to me. I am Divine. We are one. Trust it is so. And what we would say is that the changes over the next few months for the majority of humanity will not be any different than what they have experienced for the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, but that the energy is definitely shifting. For those of you who have moved through the process of release and letting go, there will be new calls to action. There will be new platforms to rise above, that we will call jumping boards, that we will call shelves of time, that are the jumping point for what is to come. For what is to come requires a lot of preparation, a lot of time. For what is to come is not to come by lightly. It is a process. It is the process of ascension. It is the process of preparation of the human vessel to be able to withstand and withhold the capacity of light that is necessary for your society and your collective to be able to hold the new vibrations of a timeline that has never been seen on Earth before. What is to come is unlike anything you can imagine. It is based on structures and pillars of society that you have never witnessed. It is a time that throughout the evolution of all races that have existed on Earth have contributed to create a grid and a structure that will be able to hold this new way of being. And we understand that you do not completely understand or have clarity on what this means or how this will be. But what we would say is that the process of cleansing, clearing, energizing, and implementing cleared energetic systems within your body will allow you the greatest and smoothest transition into this next phase of being. What we would say is that time certainly is your gift. That time is the cocoon that is holding all that is within it, much like a chrysalis holds a caterpillar during the metamorphosis and transmutation of its being from one thing into something completely different. For now, you think yourselves to be a caterpillar held in this chrysalis of time. But what you do not understand is that you will emerge. You will emerge from this cocoon a totally new being. And this experience of time that is most certainly a gift to you holds so much potential and so much opportunity. That given the chance to connect to the aspects of you that reside in a place that is outside of time, with an all-seeing and all-knowing perspective, you are given the greatest opportunity to influence and create within the time and space that you are present. That these synchronicities in life arise most freely when there are no blockages, when there are no expectations, when there is nothing standing in your way or holding you back, most of which is you. We don't say this to be harsh, but the reality of your existence is that you are the only thing in your way. And it is time to get out of the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, that was a little bit wonky. I promise, well, I can't promise, but maybe tomorrow will be different. Maybe I won't be so emotional and so erratic, and maybe I will. Maybe I will. I love you. I do. I thank you. Ciao for now. Have a great day.